Hey everyone, Kyle once again, and welcome back to the next episode review of Season 2 of Hell's Paradise, Episode 15. And Season 2 of Hell's Paradise kicked off very fun. I would say so. I enjoy the first episode of Season 2, Episode 14, and then really into Episode 15. It was fun, but there was like a funny moment that I had to say though, but overall it was great though. You know, I just don't understand how some people don't care about the show. I mean, well, especially if when I read on how in reviews or specifically comments all on episodes and stuff, it's just like, how do people do not care about the show? Do they blame it on the company that's producing them called Mappa, which I thought they did a pretty good job, for Mappa. I seen they done some shows with some other ones as well, which I don't think they did do that horrible job, especially in the first season though. But yet, I guess some people bash the first season because how Mappa was handling it. But I didn't see no. To me, I didn't see no anything wrong with it. I mean, season one, I love the first season of Hell's Paradise, and I've been and ever since I watched it multiple times um before season two came out, because that's why I'm a fan of Hell's Paradise. So I don't get why people were were hammering on the company or low in the first season. Just like, I mean, I've seen other shows that people were just hammering on or sleeping on. I just don't get it though. But other than that though, it's episode 15. Whether you don't care for season one of Hell's Paradise, to me I love it. But now in season two kicked off very fun and leading into episode 15 with Gabimaru fighting with Chobe because he's transformed more like a monster Tensei, because he's using so much of his Tao. And both of them are just fighting each other. Basically, they're just gonna basically to kill each other because, I mean, there's one point where, like, in essence of Gabimaru's wife tried to stop him, but he just kept on fighting, and they were just basically gonna kill each other up until um because they're just gonna lose themselves completely. And upon realizing that, especially Chobe's brother Toma, he stepped in and almost basically took a hit. Chobe hit Toma in realizing what he'd done, and so that kind of basically snapped him out of it. And Gabimaru, he was gonna go and kill both of them, but then May stepped in, used her used her powers, and so basically created this whole basically separated them and created this whole earthquake. And Chobe falls, and as he's fallen, realizing his mistake to his brother, and he goes and tells his brother to wait for him as he's fallen. Tells him, "Wait for me." So, and now upon using her powers, like the last time she used her powers was to help Gabimaru escape from one of the Tensen, right? And by doing so, she grew a little bit. And since she used her power again, she grew a little bit more. And they're like, what's going on here? Well, she grew again? So, upon that though, Gabimaru, he also using more of his Tao, he passes out from his because of his injuries. He was basically bleeding out of his face and stuff, right? And so, and also they tie up, Toma gets tied up because of reasons, because basically, well, they said he was Fuji's, the other Yasaimon, Fuji, the one who likes to dice, the Asimon who likes to dissect things, ties him up because he's like brother. So they have him tied up for the moment, and and all of them, they managed to make it to the gate of Horai, where they meet with Sagari, Shion, Nurugai, and Yuzuriha, and also with Hoko, the tree which is still they're still holding his head. So they meet with them, and they're the only ones that are left. And Fuji's asking what happened to with Senta Tenza, and he got upset, crying because he went to see Senta's grave, with his sword and his glass is still there, So yeah, he was upset. He had a little flashback moment with him, with the him, Senta, and Sagari together, and so at least he had the knowledge that not only Senta though, probably his other Asaimon are dead though. So, but he did have a he was literally crying when he was at Senta's grave. So explain the other situation. What probably relaying all the information, relaying all the information with each other, and so Gabimaru wakes up. You know, still not trusting anybody because of his memories. So that Sagari realized that his memories have been messed up because of all the towel that he's been using. So she goes and attempts to calm him down, just to remind of who he really is and what he came here for, what he was fighting for. So I know it's meant to be a funny thing though. It was not meant to be a funny thing, right? Because she goes and she restrains him by sitting on top of him and holding him down, so holding his hand so he's not flailing much. But she's sitting on top of him. I know it's not meant to be funny though, but I'll get the other way. That she's saying, "Remember who you were, and basically, what'd you come here for? Who are you fighting for?" And so, and then exchanging like it's like exchanging like her Tao into his. That's when he's starting to remember, he's getting his strength back, and now the memories are starting to come back to him now. But and so you see now he's starting to see his wife again, and so but the thing is, just the way Sagari is sitting on top of him. I mean, it's like she has him in a certain position, But I'm like, I'm surprised that. I mean, the way she was like explaining to him like with a smile on her face. I'm like, is she enjoying this? If you get what I mean. I'm like, I'm like, how is Gabimaru going to explain to us? Like, yeah, I forgot basically who you were. So even though she reminded me, but she was sitting on top of me. I had this girl, this executioner, sitting on top of me. Probably she'll just get the wrong idea though, probably. But I'm like, I know she was trying to bring him back and transferring some of her energy into his to bring him back though, but just I'm like the way she was sitting on top of him while explain this to him while with a smile on her face. I'm like, yeah, that's just like she's like kind of like do him cowgirl position. I'm trying to basically saying. I'm like, okay, yeah. Like I said, it was not. It's not meant to be a funny scene though, but it's just the way just how the way it was presented. I would say. But either way, though, I'm like, okay. But he's coming back, and they go in this cave, and he Yuzura explains to him that there is no elixir of life because of the Tensen that lied, saying, "Oh, there is no elixir of life." But he still intends to go through with the mission because he still wants to see, even though the fact that he also explained about the whole thing that it was an illusion, right? When you show it to a little kid, they'll believe it for loyalty. He said that may be though, but you say you maybe believe that she is not real, but I still believe that she is because like I see her even to the point where I can smell her scent, touch, feel her, you know. all the other since like I feel her presence and all that stuff, I still believe that she is real and I will get back to her. So that's why I'm going to go through with this, even that with there is no elixir alive. I'm still going to come. I'm going to still make it back alive to her. So yeah, despite the fact that maybe he was probably he was fooled as a child, believing that she was not she's a fake. He still wants to believe. Even Sagari even Sagari believes that he will make it back. Like at the end of the first season, I will. He says, I believe that he will make it back to his wife. So even Sagari will still believes that she is real though. So and to me, do me personally, do I believe that she's a real? I would like to believe so because otherwise, after all he's been through this whole entire show, it would have been a very depressing thing that she was fake the whole entire time, right? I mean, even the whole thing when they would show like her the girl her oh by the way we finally learned of his wife's name is we finally learned her name is Yui. Yui. So we finally learned his wife's name, Yui. Otherwise, we explain how her dick of a father burned her face, you know. But at least we now know who her name is. I mean, why would he make up that name, you know? He just like it's not a name he just came out he just made up out of the blue. And so and then while it's going on, Chobe, who survived the fall, of course, since he can regenerate like a Tensen now, and more of the Soshin, those monsters are they find him. He says he's got a lot more practices to master his Tao, plenty of target practice. And while that's going on, the leader of the Tensen, Rian, he's walking around. He goes to the gate where he finds all the flowers, knowing the scene that one of his Tensen is dead. He walks away, and then it ends with him approaching Chobe, like, "Hey, are you the one that killed what was the Tensen's name? I forget though. But are you the one that killed him?" So, and that's where it ends. So yeah, episode 15 of Hell's Paradise. It was really good. I'll probably say better than the first episode because now because we got more of the characters. Now all the characters are reunited together and one and Gabimaru getting his memories back, and we learn that what his wife's name is, but believing that she is still alive and real. So that's why he wants to make it back, despite even though he says I'm even though he said there's no elixir of life, he says I'm still gonna get the elixir of life and make it back to her and get that pardon. And so and then the whole thing, which I thought that Toby's brother was dead after he took the hit, but I'm like, wait a minute, no, because I remember because did read some more of the manga back before, way before season two premiered, right? Yeah, I'm like I recall that Toma is still alive because I think I remember one the time he cuts his hair short. If I'm not mistaken, so yeah, so I'm like, wait a minute, he can't die because I think I remember later in the manga he cuts his hair short, so if I'm mistaken or I just misread it though, but that's what I remember. So okay, even though he should be all right. But yeah, and May grew a little bit more because she used more of her powers, and also that one doshi that one doshi that Chobi fought in the first season, right? He's been dragging since then. He's still with them with the group. So but overall, yeah, it was very good. It was very I enjoyed the episode. But like I said, the funny part, which like I said, it was not meant to be funny, just how Sagari just how the way she was talking, she talked to Gabimaru to bring him back, you know. But at the same time, like she didn't do it by sitting on top of him while transferring her Tao to his. Even like Shion and the others are saying, you know, these two are quite um, the relationship between these two is quite Like I say, it's not love at all though, but it's just like it's a kind of like it's a certain bond between these two. These two have, so that's why the title between the two of them was like so like kind of like even. But sometimes she's like, and what she's to explain like, while smiling is like, okay, is she enjoying this? If you get what I mean, like like sitting on top of him like cowgirl position. I'm like, okay, like I said, this is not meant to be funny at all, but this is how the way it was it's how it's being presented right now. But even though despite all that, it did work though. Gabimaru was remembering himself, his wife, her name. So, and now that they're working together, they're starting to go through to get rid of, because they have to stop the Tencent, because like I said, this whole thing has just been all out of whack with them. As they're saying, this whole island is like an artificial island, a fake island, or what Senta said in the first season when he was describing how the religious is like what we're dealing with here is a man-made religion. So, and it was nice that the Fuchi, that's learning that his other comrades had died, especially when he was crying when he was at Senta's grave, seeing his glasses and the sword, So, yeah. But overall, very enjoyable episode regardless, so I really enjoyed it, so. But yeah, episode 15 of Hell's Paradise is definitely why this is definitely a long worth the wait for me. I love the first season, which some people were not fans of because of the animation and stuff. Though I mean, yeah, Mappa may you say the Mappa the company may have issues with it though, but to me it didn't bother me that much. I mean, because I was sitting back enjoying the ride of the series, with all the characters, whether the criminals or the Asaimon, and even the Tencent as well. I mean, just even with the animation, especially the animation on Gabimaru's his name post set ablaze, the fires was very well done animation. So, but yeah, you say that yeah, companies have issues. Yeah, even Crunchyroll with it had its issues as well recently. So Mappa have issues as well. It's not that unheard of though, but people bash though. I'm like, that's why I don't listen to those people. That's why I focus on my own opinion. But anyway, thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more, and I look forward to seeing more of Hell's Paradise. So, see you next time.